Well, this here
Okay, I'm going to do real quickly because I don't think they'll mind. I'm going to do a little more spotlighting on you just to give us a little more light if this will move. Now tell me if you're feeling blinded at all.
No, as long as I'm not looking up at it.
Yep, you're not going to look up at all. It's just going to give a little more light on your face.
So how did you find out about this story? Or are you just always looking for good
We're
stories?
always looking for good stories, and someone had sent it to our newsroom, and that's how we
Really?
stumbled upon it. And so I thought, well, you know what, we've got to get out there and talk with you guys about all of this. So I'm just going to have you look at me the whole time, and we're just going to chat away and let this stuff do its thing. But yeah, hardest question of all, will you be so kind to say and spell your full name, if you don't mind? I promise, hardest question I'm going to ask of the day.
Do you want my official name or just, I go by Kathy.
That's fine, Kathy, and if that's what you want, are you a K-A-T-H-Y? Or, okay, and your last name too?
G-R-U-M, Grum.
Grum. And you are a member of, what do you guys call yourselves here? Volunteers?
Yeah, we're volunteers.
All volunteers, wonderful. And
What do you call us? They do. What do you call yourselves?
Angelgowns at so-and-so.
That's right. That's what I wanted to make sure I got it right. Angelgowns at so-and-so. That's what they're called.
wonderful. How long have you been a part of the group now?
I came in January. I found out about it at their fall open house when they were highlighting the things that were going to be coming up in the next year. And I was very much attracted. I made a special trip to come up and find out about Angelgowns at the fall open house, and then I started coming in January.
This begets my next question. Where are you from?
I'm actually from the Chicago area, but I've had an affiliation with this store in Racine for a long time with purchasing fabric, and I bought a machine here, and I just, it's a great place to do business.
Well, phenomenal. So you live in the Chicago area, and
Right.
you make the drive
Yep.
every month.
Yeah.
It means that much to you.
Yes.
I think that's where we begin our story. So tell me why it means so much. It's a
I'm
hard
stuck.
question. I know, and I don't have any tissue either.
No, I don't need any tissue. They know I talk about it. Anyway, like I said, when I heard, I'd been looking for an organization like this because I had heard about it, but I didn't know of any groups. And when I saw it on their schedule for the fall open house, I thought, I have to go find out about this. And it meant a lot to me because over 30 years ago, when I lost my baby, he had no burial clothes. And I know that over 3 decades later, it's the one thing I regret, is that I could not, bury him with proper clothes. And so I think it means a lot to me, and I think knowing that it has to mean a lot it can mean a lot to other people. And I think that the moms, the families, when they receive these gowns, they know that someone has a deep empathy for what they're going through, and it's an offer of comfort for them and caring.
I never like to put words into people's mouth, but I think you just said it all right there. This is empathy. This is caring, in so many ways, because it also brings something that is, as we were talking about just when I walked in, it is something so tragic, and it puts a sense of helping and caring where you're at a very dark point.
Well, at a time like that, there's really nothing you can say or really do to make it better. It's a process that the family goes through, especially the mom, to grieve. But this is something tangible, because when we make the gowns, we also make a little heart out of the same fabric. So the gown or outfit is with the baby, but the mom still has that little tangible piece of the fabric that was used that she can. It makes it real. It's not like, oh, it's just a little baby. It wasn't that, it was really small. It doesn't matter, but it does matter. And so I think just knowing that someone cared enough to make it I think also what's special about it is you're taking, people are very generous. I mean, we want to hang on to these beautiful gowns that we were married in, and there's a lot of money involved in them, and some of them, or people made them for you. And so it's something that a person wore once for a very special occasion. And so then to take that garment and we deconstruct it and make it into a gown or an outfit that this baby will wear just one time for a very special occasion. So I think it means, it can mean a whole lot to people because they realize people kind of offered up their beautiful dress and people offered up their time to make something so that it gives dignity to their child. And we share that memory and that loss with them through that.
Absolutely. I think, talking about this more, it just reminded me, on your wedding day, you have those beautiful memories and everything. And you have the photographs, but the dress is just stagnant. They are not sure if a daughter would wear it or any other loved one would
Right.
wear it. And where does it go? This is a way that it can easily go somewhere for good.
Right, exactly. And I know, not to talk so much about myself, but then a few years ago, we also lost a grandson. And I told my daughter-in-law, I said, the one thing I regret is that I had no burial clothes for my baby. And so I said, I really want to make something. And this is before I found out about Angelgowns, but I just instinctively wanted to do that for her. And so I said, it will give you great comfort to know that your child was given that dignity and he had something special to wear.
Absolutely. And it's become your passion, it sounds like.
Absolutely. Absolutely, it's a passion for me.
One person would not be making a drive from Chicago to your scene. How long of a trip is that, if you don't mind me asking?
It's not that far. Road construction.
2 hours, I mean?
No, it's not that far. Well, anyway, yeah, it's a little drive, but it's worth it. So.
Do you feel, it's also, it's like a support group here, too.
I was going to say, that's the other thing.
GPS signal lost.
Forgive my phone. My goodness. All right, well, at least that didn't do that when you were talking a second ago. I'm so sorry.
You made it. You can turn your TV.
Exit.
You're here.
Exit. I made it. I'm sorry.
I think, well, you realize too that people, no one's really here by accident. They find out about it, they come here, they have a reason for why they come, and everybody has a story. And you sit in, that's like what's so great about old-fashioned sewing circles, but they come here and they sit, and the women sit and take gowns apart together, and others of us sit and we sew together. And even if we aren't comfortable sharing our story, we do know that everyone has a story, and there's a reason why they're compelled or feel very dedicated to coming and working on this. And so even without saying a lot about it, it is therapy because we're sharing, something that we have a real heart for.
How long have you been sewing?
I've been sewing my whole life. My grandmother taught me to sew, and I'm really glad because I get to do a lot of things with sewing.
And you get to make, these gowns, if you would go and try to buy something like this, putting a nominal price to something like because they all look like christening, baptism gowns.
Yeah.
And I couldn't imagine probably hundreds of dollars, more than that probably for the fine effort that you guys are putting into these. And this is something that no one in that situation has the energy or effort to put into.
Or the time.
That's true too.
Because
yeah.
usually time is short. But I think too, if you think about most of the time, the first person to intercede or to step in with the family or the mom is the hospital staff. And so again, to relate to my own personal experience, when I got to the hospital when my grandson was lost, the first thing I said to the nurses, I said, "Don't you have any clothes? We need to give him his dignity." And incredibly enough, to go, we have something. So they could go right away back to the nursery. And this wasn't something he was buried in, but they had an appropriate size little outfit, a little tie-on sleep sack, and little tiny hat and booties that someone had crocheted that you put on them. And it's just a way to give them, their dignity and make them real. And so that's why it's nice that when you have these available at the hospital, you can kind of go like, I don't really want to see the baby. You know, you think, what's it going to be like when they're lost really early? But they're just little tiny babies, and to be able to wrap them, you know, clothe them in something, and also, you know, to put the little hat on their head if there's a, you know, a problem with their head, which is often the case. It just makes them look so perfect and beautiful, and it's easier for the mom and the family, or even if the other family members are involved, to hold and remember and cherish their child. You don't have them for very long when that happens, so.
You have to have those special moments, those photographs, and
Yeah.
that love there, absolutely. You know, you made me think too, a lot of hospital systems, I know in the Racine area, we're very blessed and fortunate. I know that recently I was over at UW Health, and they were making a plea to get more of these gowns, because I believe you guys are the only ones, I'll have to ask Sally and Colleen this
Yeah.
stuff, but you guys are the only ones in the state that really, at least in Wisconsin, do something like this.
Yeah, you'd have to ask them, I'm not familiar, but.
But even in Illinois, for you to come over here.
Exactly. It's something that I had, you know, just had in the back of my mind that, you know, I felt like I really wanted to do, because it would have meant a lot to me. And so I feel like, you know, and again, in doing it for someone else, it kind of helps you, you know, heal from it. And I would say all the, you know, after 30 years, you know, to a point, I'm as healed as I'll be in this world. But it still is emotional to think this brings it back so real, and to be able to, you know, meet that need for another family, another mom, another child, really. I really am passionate about it. And that's why when I found it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been looking for this group for a really long time. And I'm sure they have them in the Chicago area, but I never heard about them. This is the first place I heard. And because I've had a long relationship with this store, love this store, it just seemed like a natural thing to do, is to come up. So.
Are there any of the gowns that you gravitate towards making even more, any particular fabrics that you love to work with, or anything that really stands out to you?
Well, all the fabrics are really beautiful, and we try to use all the lace and all the different things too that come off the dresses. And if I can just say an aside, one of the things somebody gave me to work on, because I wanted to put little beads on a dress, and it was another woman I was sewing next to who gave me the idea. She said she put little tiny shiny beads, and she says, I like to think of these as like the little tears. And so then I wanted to do that. I put little, you know, a lot of beads at the top, and then fewer beads down the dress. Like over time you'll have fewer tears. But so they take all the beads and everything too, and I have a little jar, a little medicine container that has all the beads and sequins and all that from one particular dress, and I have it and I use it when I make gowns. The thing that, you know, if the baby's just like a little bit older, in theory, you didn't think you could buy doll clothes or something, but what I really gravitate towards is making more like the little wrap or the sack, because really tiny babies, they're very fragile, and you can't really dress them like you would an older child. And so I tend to gravitate toward making the item that is what my child would have used. It means a lot.
Will you tell me your child's name?
Yeah, Michael John. And my grandson was Sawyer Michael. So losing your child is hard. Losing your grandchild is harder, but I didn't have pictures. You know, it was a long time ago, and they did the best they could. I didn't have pictures. I didn't have handprints or feet prints. I didn't have a lock of hair. I had nothing. And so I stressed to my daughter-in-law that it's really important in the process to have those tangible things that help you remember. And so, you know, I stress that with her, and I think they do a better job with it. Now, clearly, now there's this whole, you know, like, organization that makes Angelgowns.
And it's probably, you know, when something like this happens, it's such a delicate topic.
Yes.
But I feel like nowadays, you know, with regards to how people talk about having miscarriages, things are a little less, taboo is not the right word, it's not what I'm looking for,
Right.
but it had a stigma behind it that you just kind of, you know, we had a loss and you left it at that, and now to be able to have, as you mentioned, this beautiful joy that you can tangibly hold and care for, there's, you know, so much. It's probably much easier to cope. As you mentioned, you know, healing for you, you're probably as healed as you can be after all this time, and being able to do all of this, bringing your heart so much joy. It's still, you know, remarkable to me that, you know, you've been able to give your life and your life's work to making these and caring so much.
I really feel that the, sorry, that's my
Is that
my
your
phone.
Go get it. No worries, you're totally good. We'll
Do you want to
pause.
turn it off? It's probably somebody calling.
I mean, everything you've said, honestly, has been, you know, wonderful to hear. Just from your perspective, I think is so wonderful to share with the community. But you are truly remarkable in every sense of the word for your passion to this project, and this has become your life's work to make sure that.
Well,
these
I'm not the
things-
only.
But so many are.
There's a huge contingent of people, and this group has grown so much since they started, and just by the awareness and the people donating dresses. But I think what I was going to say is, I like to think, if I put myself in the place of this family, this mother, at this time, it's got to mean, I think it has to bring them a lot of comfort to know that someone, as much as they can, do understand on a certain level what they're going through, and because they put the time in to make something so beautiful. I just feel it's got to bring a lot of comfort, and that's what you want to do, is give dignity to their little child, give them a memory to hold on to. That's not happy, but, you know, it's just, it makes it special. And oh, you were talking about being a subject people don't talk about it. I think people do talk about it more. And what I have found in working and telling people I'm doing it, or, you know, just talking about it, is so many people who've shared their experiences. And it's a way to connect with them and help them heal. And you just have that empathy. And I think, you know, a sorrow shared is just, you know, so much easier than thinking that you're alone. So I think it's good that people talk about it more. I think it's good that people are doing this.
Absolutely. I think it's wonderful that you're doing this. I probably have plenty, unless there's anything that I've forgotten to ask you that you think would be important to share.
I can't think of
anything
anything.
else.
No, I can't think of anything else.
Your levels here. Will you be so kind and say and spell your full name if you don't mind, and full official title here?
Okay, so my name is Jim Deibler, and I own the store.
And how long have you been the, I guess, the owner here? I should ask that.
In September, it'll be 35 years.
Oh my gosh. And it sounds like every year, you know, your mission, it sounds like you give back, no doubt about it. You care deeply about the community.
I do, and I'm glad to have the people here that participate in the things that we offer here. It's great.
So talk to me a little bit about why the Angel Gown event is so important to have every month, and why you allow them to come in and use the space.
Okay, so I offer my space to a lot of wonderful people who are doing things for other people. And Sally and Colleen have been customers here for a long, long time. And they do so many things themselves, and I wanted to be able to give back a little bit and offer the space and have them here. So it's a great way to bring a lot of neat people into the store. And we have a lot of regular people that come back all the time because of different projects that we offer here.
How long has the Angel Gown been going on now, would you say, over here?
I believe about a year. Okay, So they've kind of worked on it for a little while, and then kind of took off, and it's gotten bigger and bigger. So we've had to split it up sometimes because we've had enough people helping that we have a separate day for taking apart the gowns and separate sewing days. So it's worked out well.
I was going to ask you, yeah, so it's, I mean, would you say in the last year, I mean, you've seen it flourish? I mean, would you say like you've seen like a, I don't know, 30% increase in the amount of ladies that are coming in, or?
At least a 30% increase. And we're getting people bringing in wedding dresses from all over. People coming down from Milwaukee and all over northern Illinois. They've been bringing them in. So that's a great way to recycle something that was very important to people when they had them, and a great way to carry that on.
Absolutely. Would you like to eventually see this grow even more than just once a month? You know, just to keep this, I mean, it's
Good morning.
multiplying so rapidly.
My doors are very open to that. So whatever they'd like. We do offer a number of not only charity things but classes. So we have a great classroom, but we're limited somewhat in space. So we have to coordinate that to be able to have people get in and be involved in what we have. So right now, space is the only limitation.
Well, and there are a bunch of ladies back there, so this is perfect, Jim. Anything you think I've forgotten to ask you that you think would be important to share, just about your love of helping them, and
just if you have any questions, you're welcome to call, and I have the number if you like, or
I'll put the link on with the story and everything.
Great.
So
Then I'll
yeah,
have
we'll
our
get it out
website
there
and the
that
whole
way.
works,
But I
sure.
love that you mentioned where these gowns are coming from, and you're seeing people from like all over the state. It sounds like coming in for this project, which is incredible to me that they're. You know, since we're a statewide show, I always like to frame it in that. Is there anybody else that you've heard of that does something like this in the state? I feel like you are.
I know that there are people that do. I don't know them personally, but I know they're out there.
But nothing like this, not like a meeting group, support group setup kind of like this.
I haven't met them, so
Okay.
I don't want to say that they're not out there, because who wouldn't want to do this? It's such a beautiful thing. So I'm sure there are groups that are out there, but if you can't find somebody to bring a wedding dress to, we'd love to have you.
Perfect. Yeah, awesome. I've got
To be in preemie nurseries so that you can use them on live babies also. Oh, okay. Whatever. Wow, that's really nice. Oh. I've already started. I've got 2 or 3 from another skein yarn already done. Oh, that one.
Am I on or on?
yes, go for it. I'll get you to sew away here if you don't mind.
Well, I think those 2 right there, very far in, are from something else. But that dress goes with this.
I have to stop him at the end. Really? You're fine, you're fine. Sorry.
I thought maybe you were afraid I was going to get you or something.
Like this a million times here.
Very
I'm for credit.
so that you're not actually seeing.
Oh, yeah. She just wants it to look
In fact,
like
you know what? Let me
it's
see if I can grab just a tiny quick shot of you actually doing it with the thread. I should have done that first.
well,
Just so that way I can.
oh, no, threaded it.
You guys are saying thank you so much. The power of TV. It'll look really good on TV.
What do you need to do? Oh, I unthreaded it. I unthreaded it and then she wanted to thread it.
Not gonna hide with you.
Can you do it? I can't do it with your threader, I can do it myself.
Oh, that's what I mean, yeah. Otherwise, I can't if I can do it. Will this stuff matter here?
Not at all. Not at all.
Gotta get this thread over here. I'm not doing anything important right now. Here we go.
I know. It's just like a summer video. Don't worry.
Well, I would like. I need this one.
Oh, yeah, I'm at the end.
And I want to see what's the best for the newborn. It's like that. No, that's for the tummy. That's for the. Okay. There's a newborn. And
So you can act like you're hemming it.
Exactly. Yes. That would be perfect. Yeah.
real sewer is gonna know this is fake.
Not the way I'm editing it. I'll try to make it really. You do know what? Excuse you. Definitely, you've been sewing your whole life.
And the other, the one with the little veil over it, that one also is with it. The one far right.
So sorry.
That one there goes with these little outfits, it's those two little burritos that don't go with it. That was just extra. Okay? It looks like a totally different fabric. It's not. It's from the veil of the communion dress. Do you see it now? Isn't it cute? I can't find it. I hope I don't leave it at home.
Your phone is hot.
It is hot. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm just saying, I can tell that your phone is
It's working hard.
Yeah, it is working hard. You know.
Seriously, the only way I don't hear my phone going.
Doesn't it turn out cute?
Do you know if Maryland's coming?
I don't know. I didn't
Lovingly
realize.
at it. Oh, I love it. I just look down lovingly at that. This is where I need to stand. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I know it's right by the ironing area. I need to have worn high heels today. And I was not thinking. Next life, I'm coming back taller.
Alrighty, dear.
Alright, let's check. Doesn't that one cute? Doesn't that one turn out cute with the buttons on the front? Oh, yes.
Didn't work on that.
Yeah, but I had to finish it up at home.
Let's see. Is there any?
Then the other one
I
alongside
just had
of
this epiphany. Is there a
I
way?
did at
Is there any
home.
other stitch I can make you do, or just they don't want to gunk up her machine, which is like making it go up and down, to just try to get the thread moving around here as it's coming.
Oh, I can just sew on a scrap or something.
That'd be perfect. Scrap is fine. Yeah.
To be in preemie nursery so that you can use it on live babies also. Oh, okay. Whatever.
Wow, that's really nice.
Oh. I've already started. I've got 2 or 3 from another skein of yarn already done. Oh, that one.
Am I on or on?
Yes, go for it. I'll get you to sew away here if you don't mind.
Well, I think those two right there, very far in, are from something else. But that dress goes with this.
I have to stop him at the end.
You're fine. Sorry.
I thought maybe you were afraid I was going to hit you or something.
Like this a million times here. Very I'm on thread, so that you're not actually Oh, yeah. She just wants it to look
In fact,
like
you know what? Let me see if I
it's
can grab just a tiny quick shot of you actually doing it with the thread. I should have done that first.
well, I
So that way I can.
Oh, no, threaded it.
You guys are saying thank you so much. The power of TV. It'll look really good on TV.
What do you need to do? Oh, I unthreaded it. I unthreaded it, and then she wants to thread it. Can you do it? I can't do it with your threader, I can do it myself.
Oh, that's what I mean, yeah. Otherwise, I think if I can do it. Will this stuff matter here?
Not at all. Not at all.
I gotta get this thread over here. I'm not doing anything important right now. Here we go.
I know. It's just like a summer video. Don't worry.
Well, I would like. I need this one.
Oh, yeah, neck again.
And I want to see what the best for the newborn is like. No, that's for the tummy. That's for the
Okay.
There's a newborn.
So you can act like you're hemming it.
Exactly. Yes. That would be perfect. Yeah.
real sewer is gonna know this is fake.
Not the way I'm editing it. I'll try to make it really. You do know what? Excuse you. Definitely, you've been sewing your whole life.
And the other, the one with the little veil over it, that one also is with it. The one far right. That one there goes with these little outfits. It's those two little burritos that don't go with it. That was just extra. Okay? It looks like a totally different fabric. It's not. It's from the veil of the communion dress. Do you see it now? Isn't it cute? I can't find. I hope I don't leave it at home.
Your phone is hot.
It is hot. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm just saying, I can tell that your phone is
It's working hard.
Yeah, it is working hard. You know.
Thursday, the only day I don't have anything going.
Don't they turn out cute?
Do you know if Maryland's coming?
I don't know. I didn't realize.
Lovingly at it. Oh, I love this. I just look down lovingly at that. This is where I need to stand. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I know it's right by the ironing area. I need to have worn high heels today. And I was not thinking. Next life, I'm coming back taller.
Alrighty, dear.
Alright, let's check. Doesn't that one cute? Doesn't that one turn out cute with the buttons on the front?
Oh, yes. You didn't working on that last thing?
Yeah, but I had to finish it up at home.
Let's see. Is there any?
Then the other one alongside
I
of
just had
it.
this epiphany. Is there a
I
way?
did at
Is there any
home.
other stitch I can make you do, or just they don't want to gunk up her machine, which is like making it go up and down, to just try to get the thread moving around here as it's coming.
Oh, I can just sew on a scrap of something.
That'd be perfect. Scrap is fine. Yeah. That would be great. I'm going to use this as my stand-up, but I'm going to have you read it too at the same time as I'm reading it, so I'll sync it together. You'll understand when you see it. It'll make sense. But go ahead and read it whenever you like. Go for it.
Your wings are ready, but my heart was not.
Just say it one more time for me.
Your wings were ready, but my heart was not.
Thank you. Will you be so kind? Say and spell your full name if you don't mind, and full official title here too.
Titles?
Yeah, I guess I'm volunteer or co-creator of the group. I'm just trying to figure
Okay.
out. So, yeah, and go whenever you like.
Oh, okay. My name is Sally Falashi, Sallyfalashchi, and I work making the Angelgowns. I'm kind of in charge of the seamstresses, and we make the little baby outfits and the baby cradles.
Perfect. Sit back for me if you don't mind.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll look much better.
Okay.
Talk to me. You make these, and Jim was telling me you've been here for what, the last year or so?
We've officially been here. It was a year in June, and we are growing every time that we meet. We have more and more ladies, a lot of first timers. We have some kids that have started coming. We have a girl who was 13 years old, and she came and she made one of the wraps for our group, and it turned out beautifully. And I think that she came with her mom, and so the two of them were working on these clothes, and they totally enjoyed themselves. We hope they come back.
Oh, I know they will. This is a labor of love for you ladies,
Yes.
and you know it's a passion project. That's how I'm describing it. I don't want to put words in your mouth. How would you describe this?
Well, I wouldn't do it if I didn't enjoy doing it. And so I started doing this because I was making some little outfits for babies, surviving babies in the NICU up in Milwaukee. And I started volunteering in the NICU, rocking the beautiful babies. And then I was on the computer and I happened to find something about the Angelgowns, and they just caught my eye, and I have been addicted to them ever since.
I'm curious. I mean, there's not. I believe there are other angel gown programs in the country, maybe also in the state too. Do you know of other ones?
There are at least 2 in Kenosha, but I don't know about any other ones throughout the state anymore. And I know that there's several in the Chicago area, but we're the only ones in Racine.
And you guys have attracted such a following. I mean, it probably started with just a handful of people. I mean, overnight I'm seeing 3 dozen, it looks like here.
It started in my basement. I was, making the little gowns, and I didn't even have a wedding gown to cut into. I found some satin at a rummage sale that I bought, and I started working with that and some laces. And my friend Colleen, she was kind of interested in what I was doing, so she kind of took the handles, and ever since she partnered up with me, it's exploded into this, and it's a wonderful, wonderful group of ladies.
You guys are really hearts of gold. You want to make sure, as I learned from Kathy, I mean, going through this is something that is tremendous. It takes a toll on any mother, any parent. So this is a piece of comfort.
It is a piece of comfort, and it was really difficult for me to start making these gowns. I had to be in the right mindset to make these, and then somebody mentioned that they also use them for baptismal gowns, and that changed my whole attitude towards this. It's a lot easier for me to work on them with the thought of it being a baptismal gown, too.
Absolutely. How many, I mean, I'm seeing it, and I feel like you probably have, in the last year, thousands of gowns. I mean, what would you say? I don't think 1,000, maybe around 500 or so. It depends on the wedding dress too, that of how much we can get out of a wedding dress. So once those wedding dresses started coming in, then it became a full-time job for me that I love to do. No doubt about that. And you guys are always asking for more, right? I mean, that's the need is always now because
Yes.
In the Racine area, it sounds like you're able to steadily keep that demand up. But other, I'm sure, hospital systems, I know UW Health is in need of some. So
we're always looking for new places. We've actually have contacted funeral homes too, and they don't need a lot of them because by the time the baby gets there, they usually have something to wear already. But they have asked for outfits from us. So yeah.
I mean, what do you make of? I mean, these were once beautiful memories for one day of your life, for one wedding day, and now these are still beautiful.
I think it helps the wedding dress live longer. It gives another purpose to the dress, and it's a whole different attitude that you get from the use of your dress. But so many people have dresses in boxes in their basements that are they move them from corner to corner, and when they could be repurposed into a really good thing.
I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah.
And this is a pointed question just because I wanted you to answer all this quickly. But so who do these gowns? These gowns do go to the littlest of angels, right?
They sure do. They go to the cradles that we have. Those go to emergency rooms, for the parents, and they go to the NICUs. They go to, and it's not just the littlest ones either. They can go to Children's Hospital. They need larger baby clothes too. I mean, unfortunately, that happens at all different ages.
So having these on hand is
having them on hand, and I think that with the older babies, it's easier to find something in a store or find something, but for the little tiny ones that need the cradles or the wraps, that's I think the main thing that I like to do.
I know recently you started putting in those beautiful little pillows with a beautiful saying in it. Talk to me a little bit about the importance of having something tangible for mom or dad or the family to hold on to.
I think that, yeah, because a lot of these babies are buried in our outfits, and to have a little keepsake, they can hang it on their tree, they can keep it on their dresser, they can put it in a drawer, just to have something to remember everything with. I mean, not that they'd forget their baby, but just to have a memory of that to hold.
That's so critical, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sally, anything that you can think of that I'm forgetting to ask you that you think would be important to share? Just, I always look at, is there a bigger message to any story that I'm trying to tell? And I think the biggest message here is right here on everyone's face.
I just am overwhelmed with the generosity of people. Not only have they given us their wedding dresses, but people are bringing in laces, people are bringing in fabrics, people are bringing in ribbons, and people are so generous. This community has just overwhelmed me.
Oh, I probably have plenty with all of that here. Will you be so kind? Say and spell your full name if you don't mind. And full official title here too.
Titles?
Yeah, I guess volunteer or co-creator of the group. I'm just trying to figure out. So yeah, and go whenever you like.
Oh, okay. My name is Sally Falaschi, Sallyfalaschi, and I work making the angel gowns. I'm kind of in charge of the seamstresses, and we make the little baby outfits and the baby cradles.
Perfect. Sit back for me if you don't mind.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll look much better.
Okay.
Talk to me. You make these, and Jim was telling me you've been here for what, the last year or so?
We've officially been here. It was a year in June, and we are growing every time that we meet. We have more and more ladies, a lot of first timers. We have some kids that have started coming. We have a girl who was 13 years old, and she came and she made one of the wraps for our group, and it turned out beautifully. And I think that she came with her mom, and so the two of them were working on these clothes, and they totally enjoyed themselves. We hope they come back.
Oh, I know they will. This is a labor of love for you ladies,
Yes.
and it's a passion project. That's how I'm describing it. I don't want to put words in your mouth. How would you describe this?
Well, I wouldn't do it if I didn't enjoy doing it. And so I started doing this because I was making some little outfits for babies, surviving babies in the NICU up in Milwaukee. And I started volunteering in the NICU, rocking the beautiful babies. And then I was on the computer and I happened to find something about the Angelgowns, and they just caught my eye, and I have been addicted to them ever since.
I'm curious. I mean, there's not. I believe there are other angel gown programs in the country, maybe also in the state too. I don't know of other ones.
There are at least 2 in Kenosha, but I don't know about any other ones throughout the state anymore. And I know that there's several in the Chicago area, but we're the only ones in Racine.
And you guys have attracted such a following. I mean, it probably started with just a handful of people. I mean, overnight I'm seeing 3 dozen, it looks like here.
It started in my basement. I was, making the little gowns, and I didn't even have a wedding gown to cut into. I found some satin at a rummage sale that I bought, and I started working with that and some laces. And my friend Colleen, she was kind of interested in what I was doing, so she kind of took the handles, and ever since she partnered up with me, it's exploded into this, and it's a wonderful, wonderful group of ladies.
You guys are really hearts of gold. You want to make sure, as I learned from Kathy, I mean, going through this is something that is tremendous. It takes a toll on any mother, any parent. So this is a piece of comfort.
It is a piece of comfort, and it was really difficult for me to start making these gowns. I had to be in the right mindset to make these, and then somebody mentioned that they also use them for baptismal gowns, and that changed my whole attitude towards this. It's a lot easier for me to work on them with the thought of it being a baptismal gown too.
Absolutely. How many, I mean, I'm seeing it, and I feel like you probably have, in the last year, thousands of gowns. I mean, what would you say?
I would, I don't think 1,000, maybe around 500 or so. It depends on the wedding dress too, that, of how much we can get out of a wedding dress. So once those wedding dresses started coming in, then it became a full-time job for me that I love to do.
No doubt about that. And you guys are always asking for more, right? I mean, that's, the need is always now. Because,
Yes.
In the Racine area, it sounds like they're able to steadily keep that demand up. But other, I'm sure, hospital systems, I know UW Health is in need of some. So,
we're always looking for new places. We've actually have contacted funeral homes too. And they don't need a lot of them because by the time the baby gets there, they usually have something to wear already. But they have asked for outfits from us. So, yeah.
I mean, what do you make of? I mean, these were once beautiful memories for one day of your life, for one wedding day, and now these are still beautiful.
I think it helps the wedding dress live longer. It gives another purpose to the dress, and it's a whole different attitude that you get from the use of your dress. But so many people have dresses in boxes in their basements that are just, they move them from corner to corner, and when they could be repurposed into a really good thing.
I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah.
And this is a pointed question just because I want you to answer all this quickly. But so who do these gowns? These gowns do go to the littlest of angels, right?
They sure do. They go to the cradles that we have. Those go to emergency rooms, for the parents, and they go to the NICUs. They go to, and it's not just the littlest ones either. They can go to Children's Hospital. They need the larger baby clothes too. I mean, unfortunately, that happens at all different ages.
So having these on hand is
having them on hand, and I think that with the older babies, it's easier to find something in a store or find something, but for the little tiny ones that need the cradles or the wraps, that's I think the main thing that I like to do.
I know recently you've started putting in those beautiful little pillows with a beautiful saying in it. Talk to me a little bit about the importance of having something tangible for mom or for dad or the family to hold on to.
I think that, because a lot of these babies are buried in our outfits, and to have a little keepsake, they can hang it on their tree, they can keep it on their dresser, they can put it in a drawer, just to have something to remember everything with. I mean, not that they'd forget their baby, but just to have a memory of that to hold.
So absolutely.
Yeah.
Sally, anything that you can think of that I'm forgetting to ask you that you think would be important to share? Just I always look at, is there a bigger message to any story that I'm trying to tell? And I think the biggest message here is right here on everyone's face.
I just am overwhelmed with the generosity of people. Not only have they given us their wedding dresses, but people are bringing in laces, people are bringing in fabrics, people are bringing in ribbons, and people are so generous. This community has just overwhelmed me.
Oh, I probably have plenty with all of that.
Pretend like I'm pointing. We should do this way. So right sides together.
That looks like it's about the right shape.
Oh, it's definitely the right shape. Yeah, that's good.
Because this
Yeah.
so you might be well.
Sally, if you don't mind, ask her a little bit about what she's working on right now.
Yeah, please tell me.
Compliment her work, because it's beautiful. All your work is beautiful. Amazing.
The one thing about the boys' vests that we have been using men's neckties, and we discovered that when there was a groom that wanted to donate, his wife donated her dress, and the groom.
That's amazing.
And the groom said he wanted to donate something as well.
Oh my goodness.
So he donated his tie and his vest that he wore in the wedding, and we made a baby's vest.
Well, that's remarkable. So men can also donate.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Oh, that was so nice.
This is great. So I can even tell people that it's not just women and gowns, other things, like ties.
Yeah, as long as the neckties are appropriate, you know.
Not smiling.
Or soccer balls. That's darling. That is really nice.
All right, Sally, I'm just going to have you looking over her shoulder, smiling down.
Yeah.
I had one like that.
Remember these?
Kind of like what mine
So do you think you would want to take a dress home and make some vests? Just vests? Okay. Oh. Okay. Okay. Remove the blue bag, maybe?
should be okay. No worries, I won't catch it on that. Do a lot of these women, I mean, they take these projects home, right? So they probably spend hours.
Yeah, in fact, we ask them to keep track of the hours that they work at home, so that the store gets credit for the volunteer hours. So Colleen, I mean, she put in 80 hours last month, you know, just working on organizing all the dresses and things. The hours add up, definitely.
No way, Jose. And of course, I got my great big huge thing.
I'm Patty.
Chinese and full auto?
Do you have a tiny one? This is huge. Do you have a tiny one?
There might be a small one. Angelgown donation. I hardly ever not just great tea.
Oh no, that's a brush. I had a little one in here, you know, the one weekend, the one day when they did the reconstruction over. Oh.
With each Angelgown donation, a pillow. Each Angelgown donation comes complete with a special pillow with the saying, "Your wings were ready, but my heart was not." Each Angelgown donation comes complete with a each Angelgown comes complete with a special precious pillow with the saying, "Your wings were ready, my heart was not." I'm so sorry. Go for it. Forgive me. I'm not over. Put that back on the stick.
But that's how I do it.
Or Sally?
It's beautiful. Yeah, no, I didn't sew anything.
And with the fairs and everything?
Yeah, we were Racine County and then State Fair, the kids show at.
Oh, they do show at the state fair?
Yeah, sheep. And then we had vacation in between there. So,
Each angel gown donation comes complete with a special precious pillow with the phrase, "Your wings were ready, but my heart was not."
I need a vacation from all that.
I didn't go to any fairs.
One more time so I can watch my phrase here. 3, 2, just the lighting in this room.
And he will not
3, 2.
do a scooter, he will not do a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Each angel gown donation. The problem is I'm probably doing the light above my head here. Let's see if I can find one other spot to do this.
Does that really work? Yes, it does. It's fantastic.
3, 2. Each angel gown donation comes complete with a precious little pillow for parents with the saying, "Your wings were ready, but my heart was not."
And I tried dying.
Down 3, 2, and 1. Each angel gown donation comes complete with a special precious pillow for parents with the phrase, "Your wings were ready, but my heart was not." Oh, you're fine.
I know, sometimes I'm like,
Just a couple shots as you're sewing away. Are you doing it? Set it up. Cheers, you guys. Can I grab some shots as you're cutting away? Here is 2 pillows. There's a lot of love that I know you're going to put into it. It's not going to be raggy forever. It's going to be rich and royal. All this love.
how many number did it
Sure, I like getting you guys pulling this. Oh, this is great. You know, this is part of the process, so I think it's wonderful. I need Jack. You have that. It's right here. It's just right
Judy. Yeah, she's at that gallery. I don't know if she did or not. I wonder if she got a picture of it already. I think she did. Yeah, there's 2 of them. That's just She's good at working out. Yeah.
Sorry. This is a huge room, and yet I'm somehow always bumping into everybody. Not intentional.
Excuse me. See how cute these are?
Oh, I know, and they give these, and this is my understanding to the moms afterwards.
I know, she makes the bracelets, every single one of them.
It's all from the heart, isn't it? It's so
Oh, but she can just show one.
I got some shots with Kathy, who was talking just about her loss and everything, and she was holding it in hand with one. She was like with one of the little cradles that was made, and this was in the center of it. So she was holding it. So yes, we got some really great shots. They're beautiful. Oh my goodness.
You know, they're giving it here, so I'm fine.
Bet she'll put an email out.
You'll be able to see it if you've got the Spectrum News one, yeah, for sure. We'll do one more stand-up. Right time, on the right, you got it. Yep. And that's the part that I don't know when it's going to air just yet, so coming down 3, 2. The best part about creating these angel gowns is the volunteers. Some of them don't even have to know how to sew. They can work on the dismantling of the dresses to get them ready to become those beautiful gowns.
It could be the back seat. It could be the back.
What's great about these angel gowns is that you might be surprised, not all of the 36 women here actually know how to sew. Some of them are here just to dismantle those old wedding gowns, all to get them ready to turn into those beautiful angel gowns. That'll work. And when it's just so nice. Oh yeah. Everybody although I don't know if you guys need any more volunteers. I think it's pretty full.
I put the time in here, but you gotta make sure you put it on the front side, so when you turn this out, yeah, that would be me. Tie is there. So instead, I've been sitting in the back. She's gonna construct a picture. Oh,
Ladies, I just wanted to thank you all for being here again today. This is a great thing you're doing. You're beautiful people, and this is a great way to recycle and help make somebody's life a little bit better. So I'm grateful for having you here, but I'm also grateful for you making Sew and Save shine. So thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you for doing that.